Not live. Okay, we are live. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone, those who are listening us on YouTube Live in whatever part of the world you are, in whatever time zone you are. We are back with our webinar, Power of Self. And this is the 25th part in our consecutive series of Power of Self. And we are very thankful to Mr. Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamari sir from Canada, who is joining us every Friday from Canada in the morning hours to appraise us on different aspects of power of self. And as I told that this is the 25th part, I would like to tell every one of you that what we have covered in all the 24 sessions of the past Fridays that we have. So let's just begin this journey, and then today we are going to talk on power of patience and persistence. So this particular webinar is also part of our entire webinar series, Making Education Relevant, that ICSI is holding from Monday to Sunday on various time for our lovely audience that unite us, that joins us, that come live on YouTube from various parts of the world. We are very thankful to everyone. So we have started it on 27th of August, where we have discussed in detail about power of self and belief in you, particularly. And afterwards, we have covered power of detachment and again, power of self. And part 3, we covered power of karma, power of voice, power of to tolerate. That is very, very important when we talk about power of self, power to accommodate, power of self-talk, power of happiness, power to withdraw, power of emotions, and power of self, the willpower, power of giving, power of listening, very, very important, power of words, power of being positive, again, very important. So we are very, very thankful to Sir that he has covered entirely very important aspects of a persona. When we say personality, a very important aspects of power of self in different webinars that we held every Friday. So power of gratitude, and emotional health and emotional intelligence, and balancing between mind and intelligence, power of knowledge, power of silence, and with this particularly is power of self, where we engage the people, the youth, the educators, so what power they have into them. Power of respect, we have covered in our 22nd part of this particular webinar series. And then power of observing, this particular in the 23rd part. And last Friday, we have listened to the empowering words of Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamari sir on power of powerful thoughts. So these are the 24 particular topics that we have taken till now. If you all want to listen to them once again, or if somebody have joined us and they want to join us very recently and they want to listen to these particular topics, they can go to YouTube channel and they can go to our playlist and they can have a view onto all the webinars associated with power of self. And our ultimate aim to conduct all these webinars is the three important words that is in Hindi and in English as well that you are looking at now. That is education, skills, MSME, entrepreneurship and employment. And when we say it in Hindi, it is Shiksha, Kaushalta and Udyamita. So collectively making or transforming human beings or putting something, some essence of livelihood, of essence of humanity into the people. That's what we are trying, and that's what Sir is also trying from Canada to inculcate anything, any essence into anyone, those who are listening to us in a very positive manner. So after this program at 8 p.m. today, we'll take you towards mental wellness in education, educators, students, and parents. And we have our honorable panelists, the women empowerment that we hold every Friday at 8 p.m. So do join us in that also. And whatsoever human mind, or I must say that whatsoever your mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, keep writing to us. Our WhatsApp number are given there and email ID is also given. And now, without wasting any time, this is the particular introductory slide to Vijay Shastri, Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamari, sir. Mr. Vijay Shastri Kotamari G is a certified general accountant practicing in Canada for the last 18 years, and he is also a designated accountant from India, Kenya, and Canada. Mr. Vijay is a secretary of Canada India Foundation and has served as trustee of Telugu Cultural Association in Canada, India, and Kenya, and also on various other boards of social, cultural, and charitable organizations. A fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for over 30 plus years, fellow member Institute Certified Public Accountant of Kenya, associate member American Institute of Certified Public Accountant and associate member Chartered Professional Accountant of Ontario, Chartered Professional Accountant Canada, and a licensed public accountant. And along with his professional journey, he has a keen interest into music and radio shows also. So there is a complete persona that Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamari sir holds, that apart from his professional journey, he's a very good, humble, decent soul from his heart, and he is into music also, and he has a sincere love for music. So he has interest in music and was producer of radio shows for 10 years on FM 101.3 in Canada and on television on Roger 10 for about 5 years. Mr. Vijay Shastri Kotamari was on the organizing committee of health forums conducted by Canada India Foundation in India and Canada. So I must compliment, and I'm very much honored to have such a personality on our webinar. And he is coming consistently and he wants to contribute some or the other way towards humanity, towards social developments, towards emotional intelligence and whatnot. So without wasting any time now, I want to bring the personality himself on the stage, Vijay Shastri, power of patience and persistence. So I'm just stopping my slide, and a very good morning to you, sir, from Canada.
Good morning to everyone. Chitra, thank you so much for such a detailed description about myself. That is just, by the grace of God, I have
our honor, sir. It's our honor.
Things. Yeah. So thanks for the introduction, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone across the world. Today's topic is about patience and persistence. And I thought that before I give the details about what is patience and persistence, I would like to ask you, Chitra, if you would like to say, what do you think is the definition of patience?
So patience for me is to be calm, to be quiet, and to be believable that whatever I'm doing will give me a good result. Or even if in the end it will not give a good result to me, even then I would like to try to uh, ask myself that what I have done wrong, where I have done wrong, where I need to improve, and consistently doing good towards that, so that there's some kind of a believe in me that one day everything will be going to be all right. What I am contributing is good for not only for me but for the people are surrounded by me. That's, I believe so.
Okay, that's very good. Is there anybody else who has written about what is patience? If anyone has given their thoughts about patience, you can tell me. Otherwise, I'll start.
Yes, I'm just getting towards the YouTube live. In the meanwhile, let me see the people, those who are writing. So
It's
people
okay.
are writing, sir, commitment, sincerity, like they are giving the synonyms for that into one word, not in all big descriptions.
Okay.
But yes,
That's very good. Thanks to everyone who is, putting in their thoughts about patience. So, patience is actually linked to everything that we have been discussing over the past 24 weeks, and being the 25th week, I would like each one of you to get back to the week one from where we started about each and everything that we are discussing about the power of cells. So, what we have to understand is that anything that we learn, that we define success only in terms of our career. But I would like to say that success is always there in each and everything that you do. So even these webinars that everyone is attending, we all are trying to develop ourselves. So we need patience. So what is patience? What is the definition of patience? Patience is learning to handle the passing of time. I'll repeat, it is learning to handle the passing of time. Now, that is the toughest part, learning to handle the passing of time. We think that we want to do something and we will be able to achieve it very easily. But you have to give time, and only when you give time, you will be able to achieve it. And success comes only with patience and persistence. So, how do you handle the passing of time? If you want to complete your school, you will have to have the patience of going through the school time. If you want to achieve a designation, you have to pursue, you have to have the patience of going through all that. Now, until and unless you learn this, it's very difficult to achieve success. It takes time to build an organization. It takes time for us to grow, and it takes time for any organization to achieve its result. So, why patience is important? I can tell you now the opposite of patience is impatience. There are many things that impatience can cause. It can, you need to have patience and and persistence, because if you don't have patience, lack of patience is the worst thing anybody can have, because it will not resolve your problem, it will cause more problems. If patience will not allow you, then you have to be very patient in doing everything that you want. There are some 6 aspects of patience, which, if we remember, then we will be able to achieve. And what these qualities of the aspects of patience that I am telling now is applicable to everything that we want, even if we are talking about the power of self, power to tolerate, or power to accommodate, or power to listen, power, all these things that we have done in discussed in the past. For each one of them, we have to give ourselves time to allow us to dwell on each and every aspect. And then when we continuously keep practicing it, that's when we will achieve. So I'll discuss now what are the six aspects of patience. The first thing is, you have to have the knowledge when an opportunity is right, and when you have to make preparation that is needed. For instance, if you uh, have um, look located an opportunity, or you have come across an opportunity, and you think that you want to start, let's say, a restaurant, and you know that you will be selling a specialized dish in your restaurant, and you advertise, and people start coming. You, if you do not prepare for that, and you advertise, and you ask, tell the people that the restaurant is starting, then when they come and they ask for their dishes on the menu, if they are unable to see it, then slowly they will stop coming, and your restaurant will die. So you have killed the restaurant by not being patient. So when you have a good idea, you have to give time for it to mature, and you have to prepare. And if you know that you need more time, similarly, if there is a product that you have to bring it into the market, and you already have given different ads and everything, and you're prepared for it, and your manufacturing department says that we are still not ready, and you go ahead declaring that the product is available, then it will not come into the market, because you will lose credibility. So not I'm just giving an example. It can, this is applicable in anything. When you are trying to achieve success, you have to have patience, and you have to prepare yourselves. That is the first aspect of having patience. Then the second aspect is, you should remain alert. If the opportunity does not come right away, you have to make sure your eyes are open to look for opportunities, and you have to keep looking. So what happens is, it's not always that you will be achieving the opportunity right away. You have to see if there is time required. You have to give time, and you have to make sure that so this is an aspect of patience. So keeping yourself calm, and making sure that you give it sufficient time. Then the third aspect is, you have to keep preparing for the opportunities, even if there is a delay. Always we have to prepare ourselves. There are times when we think that a certain thing has to happen by a certain time. Now, uh, like I said initially, you have to learn to handle the passing of time. So if you are preparing for the opportunities and they do not come as expected, then you have to give it time. Because if you get frustrated and you do not do what you're supposed to do, then you will be not succeeding in what you're doing. So it is very important that you have to keep preparing for the opportunities, even if there is a delay. So that is another important aspect of patience. So you have to have patience and allow that thing to happen. The fourth aspect is take the little setbacks in stride and take the little successes in stride, but do not get happy about the successes or the delay in failures. You have to allow yourself time to achieve the result that you wanted. Little successes and little failures while you are trying to achieve something. Now, this is all these aspects are applicable to what we are discussing over the last 24 weeks, including today. And they are relevant. I will discuss with these aspects if anybody would like to after complete this, and then I'll talk about persistence. So the fifth one is, if you are depending upon others, do not think that you things will happen the way you want. And this is generally the case. We depend upon others on so many things, and we expect things to happen the way we want. But remember that things do not happen the way you want. You have to have patience in order for giving them the opportunity to do what they have to, because you do not know what difficulties they have. So if you are depending on others to for things to happen, then you have to be patient for allowing them to make them happen. And the most important thing is, if you are having an ambition and you are working on something, the sixth aspect of patience is that give yourself a vacation. Vacation need not necessarily going away for 7 days or 10 days. If you are dealing on a particular issue and you want to succeed, and you are continuously working on it, and you feel that you are a bit tired, then take time off and then come back, because the ambition will still be there. So these are six very important aspects which we have to inculcate in ourselves, so that we can learn how to have patience. I'll talk about persistence after giving a small break and allowing people to say something, even including yourself, Chitra, because if you have anything to say about all these aspects, because they are applicable in everything that we are talking, because success in even dealing with your own self will come if you pursue these six qualities, and make sure that you have the patience. So before I go to persistence, Chitraji, I will give back the talk to you. Kindly let me know your thoughts and the listeners and viewers' thoughts as to what they think about these six aspects and how they would like to inculcate.
Ji, I will quickly take two, three questions of audience. So, for the
So you have the questions? Or? Hello? Hi, Chitraji. Have I lost you? So this is exactly what we need. We have to allow time. We have to have patience. I think Chitra is having some
Sorry,
difficulty.
I got disconnected.
Oh,
Ajit.
that's okay. That's what I was just saying, that we need patience for to continue. So I am having the patience. Kindly go ahead and let me know the questions one by one so
Yes,
that
sir.
we can discuss them.
Yes, sir. So the question was that how a question was that how a person should know that he or she has this trait in them that they are patient. Like somebody has asked this.
Okay. How do you know whether you have
You are a
that quality
patient.
or not?
Yes, yes, this quality you have.
Okay. So as I mentioned initially, patience is giving you time to allow you to go through the process, right? It is the handling of time. You have to give time. How do you know that? You have to, that's a quality which you have to develop within yourself. You have it. Only thing is, you have to have these six aspects that I discussed. So if you want to develop, it's a quality, it is not something that is inborn. So there are certain qualities in life which we can increase our power, like the power of self. This is one of the, patience is something that you have to build over yourself. So if you want to know whether you have it or not, everybody can develop it. So you developing patience is you're handling the passing of time. That is the definition of it. So by any chance, if you do not if you think that you do not have that, you can do it, provided you give time for anything to happen. You wouldn't have grown to the age that you are today, but it's only time that has passed, and you have learned so many things over a period of time. So it is passing of time that gives you the success or the failures. So give time and develop that quality, those six qualities of handling, and that will give you the required patience for what you need. That is what I would say.
I would like to ask a very practical question from you. Many times we have seen that nowadays there are kind of sanstha's and satsang is being organized wherein people get associated with them and they go for meditation, they learn things, they go for satsang and all that. And they think that they gain some kind of a good qualities in them, and patience is one of the quality that they think that by going in such an organizations will bring into them. But once we are into that environment, we are very patient, we are very calm. Once we get back into our daily life and come to the routine and with the family, we somewhere lost all these things. So, like, it is there is no consistency in having patience. Is that so, or what is this, and how to cope with that? This.
Okay, it's a very good question and a very important question, and it is the beginning of everything. Like you said, people go to satsangs, they learn meditation, and they want results right away. You go for the satsangs, you learn meditation, you do it for a day, you do it for 2 days or 3 days, and after that you want results. You have to have the patience to allow things to happen. There is a way of meditating. Meditating is keeping yourself calm, and many people have many different definitions of meditation, but eventually meditation leads you to getting the result that you want. But for you to get the feel within yourself, you have to practice that. So you have to allow time for you to do it on a daily basis. If you do it for 2 days or 3 days, and then you expect that immediately wonders have to happen, and then it will not happen that way. You have to give time. So you should not be blaming the satsang or the type of meditation that you are learning. It is you who have to get into the habit of allowing time. Even the past 24 episodes of these webinars that we have discussed, even if one of them you have started practicing, you still will have to do it consistently. Not results or success does not come if you do not allow time. Every day you have to, if you are learning the power of listening, it doesn't come on the day you heard about it. You have to develop those qualities. They are within you, but you have to allow time. You have to work on yourself. And that is why everything that you do, Chitraji, is based on you. So you have to, you have those habits, you have that within, but you have to give time. So we should give ourselves that opportunity and say, if I'm not able to do it, there is something which I have to look at within, and then I should be able to do it.
Right, sir. And even if we see in the professional world also, when we talk about trainees, so we do accept that they should work hard and they should have patience in their work ethics and everything. But at the same time, the trainer, like the trainees and the employer, so we there is always a conflict. Like trainees always say that they are expecting it from us, but we are also expecting the same from our employers. So there is a kind of a mismatch situation that there is always an expectation, but no one delivers perfectly. So in that situation, what do you want to say? Like one, I have talked about the practical part of the society, and one I'm talking from the professional front, the
Okay.
juniors and the
Uh,
seniors mismatch.
See, again, training is imparted with certain aspects of results, right? So if somebody is giving a training, the trainee has to learn exactly the way it is being taught. I'm not saying that um, the trainee is imperfect, or a trainee is not learning the way they have to, but we cannot blame the trainers for not being able to learn properly. Eventually, Chitraji, everything is within us. If we learn it properly, whatever is being taught to us, then we will be able to deliver. You just by receiving training, you cannot deliver. You have to actually go through what you have learned, and those whatever you have learned, you cannot learn and deliver the same moment. It will take time. You have to have the patience. So work upon yourself and go through the training process, go through what has been taught in the training, and give it time. Do it continuously. If you find that you have if you've been told to do a thing in a particular way and you are unable to get that, take help. I ask the trainer where you're going wrong. So it is not a blame game, Chitra, that you say that you are training me, I did not get it, so there's something wrong. No, it is, everything is within us. And if we go through the training manual or training procedures that have been taught to us, we will be able to know where we are going wrong. So it is always about ourselves. If you want to really get the benefit of the training, you have to go through what is taught and if what is missing. So you'll be able to perfectly get it, and you have to give time to go through the training. You have to give time to really impart that training and get the benefits out of it. So that is what I would say about training. So to be successful in your employment, and if you are being trained by someone, kindly take the time to go through the training process, go through what has been taught, and see where you are going wrong. Give it time, because let's say I'll teach. I can give you a small example. If I am training I'll give you this example from an accountant's perspective. In India, you have a program called Tally. If I am trying to teach my employees about the how Tally works, now I have to I've told them a step. Just say accounts receivable, how you have to enter an invoice, how you have to see the reports. There is a manual, and we have created a step-by-step procedure how to do it. Now, when that training is imparted, if the employee are going through and they are finding difficulty, then they have to refer to the manual, or if they are unable to understand from the manual, they have to ask the person. But all these things will take time. So we have to give time and learn. Patience is that anything to be successful in any aspects, whether it is related to your employment, or whether it is related to even the self development that we have been talking about, the power of self, you will need time.
Yes, sir. Another interesting question is coming. Somebody is asking about like during present situation, the COVID situation, in these present times, how to practice patience when we are dealing with such stressful situation and home quarantine and everything. So COVID and patience.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for asking that question. We are really going through very difficult times, and by just becoming impatient, will we be able to come out of it? No. We have to allow time to pass, and we have to do what we are being told by the health authorities. If we are being told that take vaccination, please take the vaccinations. If we are told to wear masks, please wear the masks. And if you are given some uh, rules for following for social distancing and various other things, give that. It will take time for us to go through all that. And now we can see it's a very good question, because we have seen COVID was there for almost 2 years. It came on around mid-March 2020, and we are now in almost towards mid-February of 2022. So it's close to almost 2 years that we have gone through. But how did we go through? We have allowed the time to pass, and we have um, taken the precautions that have allowed us. Unfortunately, some people were affected, but we have gone through all this because we have allowed ourselves. We have made certain adjustments in order to be at home and still manage to work. We have adjusted ourselves to be at home and manage the children while they are at home and you are working. All this has come only because of the time that you have allowed, so with the patience that you have handled with it. And this is a very good question, and each one of us has gone through. And if you look back how these 2 years have passed, I'm sure you will have the answer, not only to the gentleman or the lady who has asked this question, but to your own self. If you ask, that is the best answer that you will get for patience. We have, because we have handled this by allowing the passing of time, because patience is learning to handle the passing of time.
Patience is to learning the handling of passing of time. Thank you, sir. I would like to move ahead from here, but there's one very interesting, again, a question that I want to take. The question is that somebody is asking that we want to be patient, we want to learn this trait, but what what we do of our anger. So kindly tell him that how to overcome anger and to be patient.
Okay.
People say that they want to be patient, but they have anger problems. How to solve that?
Okay. So anger is one of the traits that we have within. Every individual has that. Uh, and that anger comes only with our ahankar. So if we have that ego which makes us feel that everything that we are saying is right and everything that the other person is doing is not right, that is when you get angry, because you feel that you are not getting the result the way you wanted. The other person is not acting the way you have to. Now, coming back to this question, and if you are having that trait of anger within, it can be overcome over a period of time. If you know that you get angry, then in every situation, try to look at yourself and what that traits that we have discussed in the past. We should know that we have to look within for everything. If we are reacting to what others are doing, that is the time when we get angry. If you want a thing to happen in a particular way, just the discussion about patience. When you want things to happen the way you want to, and you are depending on others for it to happen, you have to have patience. So anger is something which is a bad trait that everyone has within, and we have to develop ourselves and give time to know and realize that we have that quality within, and we have to develop the habit of not reacting to anything, and take a deep breath when you get angry. The anger within you cannot be removed by anyone except your own self. So that's an interesting question. Whoever has asked, my request to you is, if you have realized that you get angry, then see what is the reason and give yourself time to overcome it. And whenever you are getting angry, do not react, and see what is the reason for your getting angry, and look within and see how you can stop that.
Thank you for your valuable advice, sir. We can now move on to persistence.
Okay, that's very good. Now, persistence is actually patience in action. So basically, when you have patience, and persistence will happen automatically. Persistence is creative, always looking for new opportunities. Now, when you have patience, you will be able to achieve things with persistence. That is, keep doing what you have to do. If you keep doing what you are doing, then only you will be able to achieve things that you have managed with the practice of being patient. Persistence is courageous, and it does not give into fear. If you want to do something, it gives you the courage to handle things, and it removes the fear from you. Persistence is hope and does not allow discouragement to come in your way. So patience along with persistence is what is required for you to accomplish success. So just having patience is not enough. in addition to having the patience that is allowing the passing of time, you also have to be persistent in what you are doing. You have to continuously keep doing it with courage, with the hope that what you are doing will lead to success. So patience and persistence go hand in hand, and persistence is patience in action. So all that you have been patient about with all those qualities that I have said, when it comes to action, you have to have that persistence within you to make sure that you do and do not get discouraged. You continuously keep doing what you have to do in order to, and with the passing of time, you will certainly, because you are now patient and you are persistent in what you're doing, you will be able to achieve what you wanted to achieve. And that, so these two qualities are very important in order for you to succeed in what you're doing. Now, success, like I said in the beginning of this webinar, is not in a specific area. We have to succeed in every aspect, like the gentleman who has asked today about I get angry, what do I do? So if you if you know that you are getting angry, you be persistent in what you are doing, know that you are getting angry, and do not react when you get angry, and have the patience for couple of weeks or couple of months, and act upon yourself for that quality within you to develop, so that you do not you train yourself and continuously, and you persist, and you make sure that you overcome that anger within you over a period of time. So you have to allow the passing of time, and you have to be persistent in working on your anger, quality of anger, and making sure that you remove it. So you will succeed in removing the anger within you by having the patience. So patience in action is persistence. So give yourself the time, and also be persistent in what you're doing. And certainly these two qualities will lead you to success in any aspect. That's why I was telling you these two qualities are required for everything that you do. It's not necessary in your job, it's not necessary whether it is in your school. This is a very, these two qualities are very important for the development of yourself, and that is why we are discussing it under the power of self. So you have to develop these two qualities within you, so that you can succeed in anything, not necessarily in your school, or in your designation, or in your career, or in your job, or in your relationship. For everything you have to have patience and persistence.
Right, sir. This is such a valuable information that you have given to us. Another few questions that I want to ask, if you allow us.
Sure, go ahead.
Ji. So one thing that somewhere or another way, a belief and mindfulness, these two are also connected with the patience and persistence. Because if you have belief, you will be patient, you will keep patience, and also mindfulness will lead to all these things. So please elaborate on to these things also. It is somewhere associated.
So yeah, they are definitely associated, because belief and mindfulness, these are the two things which will lead you to those are the two qualities required for persistence. So, if you believe in what you're doing, like let's say we are working on a specific product, and you know that your research is going to lead to the success of that. So your belief of that specific thing will make you continuously do it with persistence. And that you will once you have the belief, you will be mindful of what you are doing, and you will continuously keep doing it. So that you will do over a period of time, and you will do it patiently. So when you are doing it with patience, and you are doing these two qualities of persistence, which is belief and mindfulness, will definitely lead you to success. Again, these two qualities of patience and persistence, uh, the six aspects of patience that I have told, together will lead you to success. Now, success is not specific to to anything. Success is in everything that you do. Overcoming your anger, that is, it will lead to success of your not being angry anymore. Uh, so you have to have the belief that yes, I can overcome it, and you have to have the mindfulness of realizing it whenever you get angry, that okay, I know I'm getting angry, and I believe I can remove this anger. Then if you are persistent about it, and you give time, you'll certainly overcome that anger within you. Any other
Uh,
question?
yes, yes, sir. There is another question. Nowadays, it has been found that, especially the young generation, these two qualities or these two traits or these two skills are missing in the younger generation. They're not patient, and they are even not persistent in their whatever they are doing. So many believe that, many doesn't believe that. Even if we ask from the younger generation, they say no. What do you think, that we are not patient or we are not persistent? There's nothing like that. But there is a separate mindset of older generation. Now, what you have to say into that? How you find today's younger generation? What message you want to give to them?
Okay. See, the younger generation has a lot of uh, gadgets in their hand, and they have the social media, and they come across so many things that are being said by so many people, different people within their groups, and they believe it to be correct. Now, believing it to be true, and finding out whether it is true or not are two different things. Now, if the belief amongst youngsters is that you don't need to have patience, and you don't need to be persistent, if that is the belief that they have, it will be difficult for them to achieve what they want. If the younger generation, even, it doesn't matter whether it is a younger generation or an older generation, you have to always have the patience to do things, and you have to be persistent in doing it. If the belief in the younger generation is that they can achieve anything without waiting for things to happen, I do not think, it is not, I would not comment on that it is a bad trait. But my request to everyone is, you have to give time for anything to happen. This is nature, and this has been happening for years and years. And if you just think that you will be able to achieve something just because you have been told that it can happen, uh, that will just remain with you as a belief. But your mindfulness will tell you that this belief of yours will not lead you, and persistently, if you keep this belief, it will lead you to the misconception that you will succeed, and your success will be hampered. So in your best interest, my request to the younger generation is, please work on yourself and take time, be patient. Things will happen, you will succeed. When they say हम होंगे कामयाब, आप कामयाब कब होंगे? आपको अपने आप पर काम करने का वक्त देना चाहिए. So you have to give yourself time. You have to be patient, and you have to be persistent. Only when you keep doing these two things together, things will happen. And like I said, there are so many different things in for being patient. You cannot, you are dependent on so many external things for things to happen, especially the youngsters. Now, I'll just give an example. If somebody is thinking of coming to Canada as a student and they want to, they apply for the immigration, there are certain things that are required. Maybe your English, you have to improve and you have to go through the IELTS exam and you have to get a score. Now, if you just want that to happen, will that happen? No, you have to work on yourself, and then only you'll be able to improve your English. And then once you have the English, you have all the other traits and all the required experience and the designation. But the only thing is, maybe your English needs to be improved. How will that be improved? On its own? No, you have to give time for you to learn, and you have to be persistent in what you do. So when you put these two things together, you will be able to achieve. So that if the younger generation is of the opinion that without giving time things will happen, I think it's a misconception, and that has to be removed.
Thank you, sir. We are very happy to hear your views about the younger generation and about patience and persistence. Before ending the webinar, one more thing I would like to ask you
Let
that
me, if you don't mind, I'll just say one thing.
please, please, sir, please.
My I'm definitely from the older generation, if that's what is the definition of younger and older. Younger and older is only the definition of the body, and the mind is what is supposed to develop. So I consider the younger generation has all the facilities, amenities, and everything that in fact, they can develop much faster. They have the whole time, so they should take time on work upon themselves to go through them and make sure that you develop yourself. You have that power of self that we are been talking about. Please work on yourself. There is, in fact, the younger generation is very smart. They can achieve anything because they have got the means. It's only the end will come when you work on the means and are persistent in doing it. You go ahead with your last question.
Yes, so somebody is also writing that learning patience can be a difficult experience, but once conquered, you will find life is easier. So
Exactly.
that, and even sir, it will help to overcome mental tension and stress. जिसे हम बोलते हैं stress management and mental wellness. I think these two traits also help into that also, which is a very very
Exactly.
important topic nowadays, even after the COVID times. So mental wellness is very important, and I think patience and persistence helps in that also.
Certainly. See, if you like, one of the aspects I was saying is that if you are dependent on someone for something to happen, let's say you are getting your house built, and you now are dependent on the contractor to have it done. There are certain things you want to happen on a certain time, but unfortunately, the builder, he comes across certain difficulties from his side where his suppliers are not giving him what he wanted. The contractor is believing that he wants to complete, but he's unable to do so. Now what will happen? Will you be able to get what you want by getting angry on the contractor, or will you be able to keep yourself calm and say, okay, it's happened, and if not today, it will happen tomorrow? So this comes with what? The patience. You have to understand that things are not always under your control. You in life, most of the time, we have to act with coordination with others. So when we are depending on others, when we are doing things with others, you have to have the patience, otherwise things will not happen.
Yes, sir. I'm very hopeful that today's session of ours have helped so many people, those who are watching, and will share it with their near and dear ones. And you have given something very, very valuable information, sir, and very, very valuable input. And we are very
Thank you.
thankful to you for that. And with this note that it will help you into mental wellness as well, I would like to tell my audience once again, do join our today's 8 p.m. program as well. If you want to get inside more onto mental wellness, into education for youth and educators. And with this, I would like to thank and say namaskar to Mr. Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamari sir. And before ending, just a simple message or one single message that you want to give to our audience before closing the session.
My advice to everyone is, uh, as I have mentioned, you work on yourself, on the power of self, and if you have the patience and you are persistent, whether it is the power of listening, or it's the power of tolerating, or it is the power of detachment, or it is the power of acceptance, anything, all these things will require you to be patient and being persistent. So work on yourself, make sure that you give the sufficient time for things to happen. And while you are having the patience, you also be persistent in what you're doing, and you will succeed. So continuously work on yourself. You have that power within, and we have the power of self, and we have the power of patience and persistence. So kindly develop that those qualities within yourself, and it will help you going forward. Whether you are a younger generation or an older generation, it will definitely help all the generations. So kindly work on this particular those
Thank
two
you so much,
qualities.
sir. Thank you so much. Looking forward
Thank
to meet you next Friday with another topic.